a good source.
Okay, well, thanks, Bob, for that update. I appreciate your input, and thanks for being on Connecticut River Valley Radio.
Thank you. I enjoyed the time I spent down there with you the last time, and it's a good thing, that radio program.
We'll have you on again, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Gay, and you have a good day.
You too.
Take care, Bob.
And say hello to everybody down there for me.
I will.
Bye.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.
Well, that's pretty cool. A sign that you never know what's going to happen when things get donated.
Oh, yeah. That was a big surprise.
and so these things are of value in the hundreds or thousands of dollars?
Thousands.
Wow.
Minimum $1,500. Minimum.
Well, are there going to be great treasures found on Saturday, August 27th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the Green in Madison, Connecticut?
Oh, most definitely. And my lovely guests here are going to expound on the details of that and give us an exciting preview of what that awesome Antiques Fair has to offer. And I'm going to send the mic over to Jennifer Simpson, who is the executive director of the Madison Historical Society. And she's going to introduce her people, and we'll go from there.
All right, thanks so much. Good to see everyone.
Yeah.
So with me today, I have Beth Wardwell, who's our events coordinator. Beth helps us with two main events, the home tour, which you guys have so graciously featured in the past, and that was a huge success in June. And then she also has helped us with the Antiques Fair, which is coming up this Saturday. And I think she's also going to be kind of expanding her role a little bit and taking on some events that we're going to be doing in 2017 when the Historical Society celebrates its centennial. So we're going to have a big gala and other events throughout the year. Lots of things going on. And then also we have with us Dr. Lyle Cubberly. Lyle is a former Air Force person, retired Air Force. He is a trustee on the board. He runs our book group. He is on the Antiques Committee. Always there with a helping hand, and he has a very broad, diverse background, and including being an antiques dealer. So
welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got quite the crew today.
Well, as it should be for such an exciting event that's coming up.
Oh yeah.
So, Gay, would you put this in the top 5 antique events in the Connecticut River Valley?
I would put it in the top 3, maybe the top 2.
Yeah.
It's an extremely amazing event. Although I haven't been there personally, I have to admit, but this will be the first time I get to go in person. But my father has talked my ear off about this event. Yeah. And I've done my research, I've done my homework, and talking to these folks over the phone ahead of time, there is a lot of things that makes this Antiques Fair different from the rest.
Beth, why don't you run it down for us?
All right. I have been doing this for about 5 years, but the history of the show is 45 years this year. So we have a long lineage here of successful antiques fairs. We have a list of 200 dealers that we invite each year to be part of the show. This year we will have about 65 to 70 of them. It's a little less this year than it has been, but that's been what's been going on with most shows.
Yeah, you said it was because of the heat.
Well,
It's been a
many
big
of
factor.
the dealers have mentioned the heat and how hard it is to set up their booths and what have you. But fortunately, we have a break in the weather.
Yeah.
And it should be very nice this
It's
weekend.
gonna be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. We will also have a very good caterer from Durham, Connecticut, who will be providing food, and we set up a cafe for people to sit and enjoy that. It's just a lovely day in a lovely part of the state down on the shoreline in Connecticut.
Do you know if we're going to have live music again?
Yes, we are, actually. We are going to have live music. We have,
Is it Mike Piccioni who's going to be joining us again?
Mike Piccioni. And Mike is a volunteer for Wounded Warriors. And he devotes his life to doing this kind of thing at events, and whatever goes into his hat, so to speak, gets donated to a needy family or a needy person, usually on the shoreline.
Nice.
So that's a nice side thing. But the dealers are always very enthusiastic, love to come to the show. We are very fortunate to have a good group, and this year we have a couple of added attractions, including some items that have been donated to the Historical Society. So we are actually going to have a booth ourselves this year, and Lyle Cubberly will be the person who is manning that booth.
Yeah,
So-
I'm very curious about that
Yeah.
booth file.
Some real nice stuff. Let
Yeah.
me tell you, some late 18th, early 19th century stuff. It's been donated to us. It's a dry sink. It's nice square nails. Old cradles. It's secretaries, Hoosier cabinets. It's I think it's about 120 items total that we've been donated, and
Wow.
and then we even went through our collection, and I was able to dig out of the corn crib some stuff that's been there for decades. I think it's
Okay.
a nice sleigh bench, no less, that was sitting in there. So
Ooh.
I got that one kind of cleaned up pretty good. So we're going to have a lot of nice things.
Okay, so this booth that you're doing is a combination of these special things that have been donated by a Madison resident,
Right.
In addition to your own personal collection and collection items that the Historical Society owned. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. I was an antique dealer for many years, and my wife and I retired 11 years or so ago, and we still got boxes of stuff in the garage. So
Yeah,
we're-
well, doesn't everybody? We all have boxes of stuff. However, your boxes of stuff, Lyle, are an entirely different echelon, I have to say.
Well, my wife at one time tried to corner the market on pie tins, and she has stacks of those, and so
Interesting.
we're getting rid of that
Yeah,
stuff. You know.
everybody has an interesting passion.
Oh, yes, yes.
Pie tins, jewelry, marbles. There's so many different things that you can collect, and that's what's cool about this Antique Trail show is that we explore all those things that people are passionate about, and we're very excited to have you guys talk about everything that this Antiques Fair has to offer. Can you mention some other things that are going to be in that booth that you have, Lyle? Anything stand out?
Some if people like crockery, okay, we're going to have some Benningtons. I don't know if you're familiar with Benningtons.
Yeah,
crockery.
my mom had those in our house that I grew up in that was built in 1765. So, yep, I'm familiar with those.
Beautiful.
And we're also we got some old photographs, some old tin types that were we found in the bottom of a box, no less, just wrapped up, and so and then we also found some antique clothing, christening dresses and a woman's summer dress, and
Ooh.
yeah.
There's gay.
That gets me excited because right now I'm wearing a vintage 1940s dress. For this special occasion of you guys coming, I decided to go 1940s today.
And you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we will have vintage clothing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly going to be scoping that out.
Good.
So one of the reasons, Jenny, that we love doing this program and Antique Trail is because we love anything that allows us to be transported in time. And certainly Madison is a town that has evolved and has many phases. And I think one of the things I love about your Remarkable Homes tour is that you find ways of commemorating the various phases of Madison's past. Agricultural, residential, resort. It had it evolved and we continue to evolve. But you're really good, you and your team, at acknowledging and celebrating each one of those phases and understanding the homes that would have been part of each phase and certainly what goes into it.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that because every month I write an article for a local publication called Madison Neighbors. And so this month I'm writing an article about the fact, what do people think about, why did you come to Madison? That's kind of like my opening line. Why did you come? And a lot of people now would say, I came for the beaches, the beautiful surf club, the schools. And I think the people who are associated with the really vibrant history organizations in Madison would have a very different response. They would say they came because of, the unique architecture on the shoreline, and in particular, in in Madison, some of those, summer cottages that are around Hammonasset and the beautiful old homes that are in our historic district. There's a shared kind of common past that has built this really strong sense of community in Madison, and it's really unique. It's a wonderful historic town, and I don't think that people, when they think of Madison, they think of the beaches, and they don't think of this rich cultural history that we work hard to promote, not just through our home tour, where we feature the historic homes, but also through the many events, the educational programming that we do. We just launched our World War I exhibit, a brand new exhibit that just opened, and that exhibit celebrates the many Madison people that served over there, and those at home that were supporting those that went abroad. It's a wonderful exhibit, but that's what we strive to do. We strive to celebrate the past and make people aware of that deep, rich cultural history.
And Beth, the great thing about the 45th Annual Antiques Fair is that it is full of items that will take you back in time.
That's right.
And it'll cover the various periods of Madison's past and of the area's past.
That's right.
Do you have a favorite that is celebrated at the event?
Oh, that's hard to come up with a favorite because there's so many good ones. But I happen to be interested in antique clothing and jewelry, just as Gay is. So that excites me. But we tend to get excited about whatever it is we like. There's a dealer that we have, Lou Scranton. That name is very well known in antique circles. Lou has been with us all 45 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he comes with a truck, and he deals primarily in Americana. But he has quite a following, so that's a fun thing.
Great.
Some of Lou's stuff could actually be almost in museums.
That's
It's
right.
that good.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got some real nice things.
Yeah, and he's prepared to tell you the story that's attached
Yes.
to it. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's what I love about this. And by the way, by going to the event, which is going to cost you all of $7, and if you're a member, $6. Membership, by the way, still one of the best deals on the shoreline. If you go to the event, you're actually saving gas because it would take you probably about $100 in gas to be able to visit all of these dealers because they're coming from all over.
That's true.
So this is a great to do a little bit of one-stop shopping. You can feel good that you're saving money so that maybe you can reach down exactly and justify it that way. Makes
the
sense
dealers
to me.
come from not only Connecticut. We have dealers from Rhode Island, Massachusetts. We have another dealer, Good Old Things, that comes from Scranton, Pennsylvania. They're a wonderful dealer. They kind of specialize in repurposing things. They, I guess, collect whole estates. They're a huge operation. So a minimum of $100 to see all these different antique stores for sure.
One-stop shopping.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Are you coming?
I will. I will try to. As you can imagine, weekends are tough for us. Our tiny house is out there, and we're doing remotes, and we got to get everything all prepped up because we're on the lawn at the Wadsworth Mansion on Sunday.
Okay.
But I think if I get everything squared away, I'll come down because I love going back in time.
Yeah.
And I love what all of our historical societies do, but there's something special coming out of Madison and what you all and your colleagues are able to put together. So we will try to be there
Thank
for
you. That would be
sure.
great. We'd love to have you.
Tell us a little bit. It's kind of, Beth, because you're inviting the dealers, it's kind of a juried event. So so you're assured a consistent level of quality from booth to booth to booth. And that's a good thing for everybody. It's good for the vendors and it's good for the people shelling out the $7.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a vetted event. They vet these dealers, and
well, there's a long history, as you know.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Especially in the last 10 or 15 years. We have a list of 200 dealers that was handed down to us by the last managers. I've been doing this for 5 years. And that's the list we primarily work off of. But we also are always interested in new dealers with items that appeal more to a younger crowd. So
I might be there next year with my jewelry.
well, that would be wonderful. We would love to
Well,
have
you have to get invited.
We'll invite you.
I hope so.
Gay, not to be uncouth here, but is there a strategy that one should have going into a fair such as this? First of all, you want to do as if you're at a farmer's market. You want to ask, and they'll be happy to share stories and backstories of the items. But does one negotiate at a fair? Does one want to come in and buy early? Because, look, the bottom line is a lot of people are going to come, so the only way to make sure it's going to be there in your car at the end of the day is to get it early?
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, if I had a lot of money and I'm going to this event and there's some things I want to get, particularly furniture, I would be there before the fair starts, and
Won't let you in unless you're a dealer.
And it starts officially at 9 a.m.
That's right.
So if I were serious, which I am,
You know that.
I would be there at 8:30, respectfully at 8:30, just kind of scoping things out ahead of time before people were let in, just to kind of get the lay of the land. And then at 9 o'clock, boom, I would be ready to go, going to those booths that interest me, talking to the dealers. These are very knowledgeable dealers, which is one of the coolest things about this event. These people really know their stuff. And as far as wheeling and dealing with them, I'm not sure about that because
they love it.
I think
the dealers
it-
like that.
it's
Sure.
individual.
But in a respectful way. I mean,
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
lowball. That's kind of like that's not what we're talking about here. But they're motivated, Lyle. They're motivated to unload unload it in the right
Yeah.
word.
That's
But
right.
they're motivated to sell.
That's
Look, to Jenny's point, some are coming a long distance. It'll lighten their load on the way back. A lot of them,
true.
setup is tough enough. Tearing down, it would be a lot less of an issue if they've sold most of their stuff. So they're motivated to sell. So to be respectful, but if you want to save $50 or $20, put it out there, right?
Well, I think
It
a good
doesn't
way
hurt
to
to ask.
Yeah, make a
good way to
respectful
do that
offer.
is
Yeah.
just say, what's the best you can do for me?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
think
That
dealers-
opens the conversation.
Dealers build a little negotiation in. I
yeah.
think they expect, maybe 10%, 15%, I think that's part of the game. I think
Yeah.
that's always been the way it is in the antiquing world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gay mentions coming at 8:30. The only way you could come at 8:30 and scope things out would be if you were a dealer.
But
gonna walk
I know
around
Gay.
the perimeter.
She just wants to be at the head of the line. I know her style. I know her style.
know.
So just so everybody knows, it's at the green. It's a rain or shine event. Don't bring any pets because that gets way too complicated. Don't do
Well, recently we've decided to let dogs in on leashes as long as owners understand they are responsible for the animal.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
You're very kind.
Well, we had demand for it year after year after year, and we had to tell people that they couldn't, and it made some people rather angry. So anyway,
So you're making a compromise.
we're making a compromise,
right.
and it's
Okay.
worked out well so far.
All right. There are well over 60, 65 dealers that are going to be there. You're going to save a lot of gas because there's no way you could see them, all of them, in a day or 2 days or 3 days because they're from all over the place. And this is a great way of being able to really appreciate the various categories in collecting. You'll have a little bit of everything from furniture to dresses to jewelry. And will there be artwork? Will there be what
Yes.
other categories will we have?
Yes, we do have people with paintings. We have another one that is going to have prints, Maxfield Parrish prints. That's a very well-known name. And several of them have. Oh, and there's one that has some New England Impressionist paintings, which look like they're going to be very lovely.
There's really something for everyone. Everything
Yeah.
from textiles to porcelains, furnishings, objects, clocks, jewelry. I mean, it's
Clocks.
it's
I
a
love
it's a
antique
full
clocks.
full
Yeah.
fair. I mean, there's really
We have
something.
two of them. We have two of them that we're selling.
We're going to talk.
Okay, good.
We're going to talk. We're going to talk a little barter deal.
Yeah. Lyle's got the killer booth.
This is this is going to be a lot of. First of all, it's just going to be fun. I mean, even if you don't feel like spending money, we got to cover some of the business points here. Will all the dealers be taking credit cards?
Oh, that's an excellent
Most.
question. I don't know.
Most will.
Yeah.
You know, put a check in your back pocket just to be
And cash.
safe.
Yeah, cash. Cash
Cash
is
is always
Cash really
king.
talks. Yeah.
And my guess is that you have a better chance of taking $100 off if you're coming with a bunch of bills.
yeah, cash is,
Probably are right.
yeah, cash is king. You get the better deal.
I'm excited about it. I got to find a way of sliding over there, and I learned I won't show up before 9. Trust me. But it's right there at the
Might
town
let
green.
you in.
It's right there at the town green. It's a rain or shine event. The event itself benefits the historical society.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're. Well, I don't want to know your business, but you're able to get fees from the participants, and you're raising some money. The money goes towards a phenomenal cause, which is maintaining all that you guys got to do. Which you're going to have to come back because you're a glutton for punishment, Beth, as you're taking on a role for the centennial celebration for the Historical Society. Can we come back and frame that out on what that means? And I also have some people that I want to turn you on to because we had somebody who's visiting from Australia come in and visit our studios. They listen to us over there, and they're writing about the 100th anniversary of the U.S. entering World War I. And I think they asked us to turn them on to people to talk to.
Right.
So I'm gonna
Send them over. The exhibit is open during the Antiques Fair. It's a wonderful exhibit. We got a lot of funding. We were lucky enough to get some funding from the state, and it's by far one of the best exhibits we've ever mounted. It's really, really worth coming to check it out. Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to check that out and bring my dad.
And you bring up something that also is top of mind is that we're aware of budget issues, etc. Another reason to get up and get out because the money goes towards a great cause that resources for funding become more and more difficult as state budgets are more and more challenged. So let's roll up our sleeves. If you care about an organization, you care about preserving our textured past, come out and have a good time. It absolutely will be a way for you to celebrate our textured history and hang out with some cool people like the good doctor here, like Beth, like Jenny. It's always good to see you.
Thank you so
And be careful because you might get knocked over by Gay. She's on a mission.
Yeah, and I'm bringing my little picker, Chauncey.
Chauncey's got a fan club at ICRV Radio. Hey, ladies and gent, thank you so much for sharing, and thanks so much for what you do, and have a very, very successful event on Saturday, August 27th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.